I like this concept of non-sustainables or non-essentials. As I told you guys before, I think I've had a recording contract for a little over 25 years now. And I've done a lot of things in that time, including running my own record company and managing other artists, mostly in the hip-hop and urban vein, but alternative, lots of different styles. But one thing that is true in the recording process especially, and maybe some of you guys don't know, so I'll describe it. When you record, it's not like the old days that you may have seen video, where the band goes into a room and they record it straight through, and what you get is what you get. If you don't like it, you just do another take. It's not like that anymore at all. We record on what's called multi-tracks. So any live instrumentation you have or digital instrumentation, either one, is on its own separate track, recorded separately. You can hear it in the headphones, so you can play along with it, sing along with it, rap along with it, whatever you're doing. You can hear the other pieces. But in doing that, as you're building the track itself, you have the opportunity and the responsibility to edit each one as you go. What do I mean? So when we're putting things together, most generally in hip-hop music, we start with the beat. Sometimes a sample, but we'll say in this case we're doing all organic, no samples. We start with a beat. A beat is a kick drum, a snare, hi-hats, some other percussion elements in there. Once that's recorded clean, then we optimize that, which makes the bass low and kick and tight, right? Makes the snare cut through at a certain range. Optimize every single thing. Edit all along the way. And because we do that when we go to record the bass, it has space to live, do what it does, right? Edit. Take out the non-essentials. It's literally just as 20 was talking about. It's about the minimal amount for the maximum effect. And we go all the way through, you know. Some recordings are up to 64 tracks. I mean, you may have 12, 14 tracks just for vocals, for layering effects, different things like that. But every single one of those are edited along the way. And it's funny because sometimes you even go and you put back imperfections in it for a certain feel and a certain sound. But that's not something that you kept in as it went. You built it to be streamlined and clean, right? This reminds me of Neville's concept of pruning the vine, right? Editing things down if it's not exactly what you want. This is how we live a good, fulfilled, happy, satisfied life. This is it, folks. Look that concept up, Neville Goddard, pruning the vine. It's going back and reimagining things. Bad things good, and good things great. It's editing. It's taking out the pieces that are not needed, not wanted, the undesirables, and leaving space to improve, right? So I love this concept, and hopefully that analogy of how we record music gives to you as well. along this route.
So I'm a real big fan of studying successful people. And I'm not a big fan of studying why people think they're successful. Because the average person doesn't have a clue about why they're successful. They'll tell you what they think the reasons are. You see, maybe you've noticed there are a lot of people that are just, they're mega, ultra successful. I mean, they're awesome, but they can't teach it. They can't get someone to catch it. And we've lost something along the line from what I can tell. In my opinion, the current state of education has us focusing so much on content that even when you find someone to mentor you, they just focus on the content. They don't... What I like to do is I like to study somebody's way of being, way of perceiving the world. And so I'm going to share with you a peek inside of Tony's brain, the way he perceives the world. Because what I notice is Tony doesn't talk much about problems. I get that he eliminates people's problems. I get that he reduces or eliminates their pain with what he does. If you're in marketing, you've got to understand people's problems and their pains. And if you're going to deliver on eliminating both. And I get Tony can do that. But what's really cool is absolutely noticing that Tony doesn't have much room for problems with what he focuses on, because he's so much playing with possibilities. Because you can focus on problems or you can entertain possibilities. When I listen to people's voices, I listen to how much they're entertained and how much they engage possibility. And I hear a lot of that in Tony. And so what I'm into is discovering how does he do that? And there's a lot of clues left behind with what he's shared already that you can dive into. But I want you to notice this. Positive versus negative, good versus bad, right versus wrong. I don't find those all that useful. They get you up in your head. They get you involved in dilemmas, morals, values, dogma, philosophies. And on the other hand, this is what I want you to notice. This is what I want you to do. This is where I want you to play. I want you to notice possibilities. Because every moment you stay engaged in a war against problems or trying to evade problems is a moment that you could be investing in exploring possibilities. So that's where I'm going to invite you to play. That's where I'm going to point out about how Tony processes the universe. And see ya.